I think the innovation I'm most excited about is the idea that the vSphere client is going to go away, because that opens up all kinds of interesting scenarios. And no longer are we going to have an installable that you have to run and install on a Windows machine, right? You have to manage everything through these series of web-based interfaces. So that minorly terrifies me, but it excites me at the same time, because I can see that going forward as the future of elasticity and being able to move things around in the data center and even outside of the data center. We talk about hybrid clouds and moving between public and private clouds, and I think when you have a static installation such as like the vSphere client, that's not mobile. You can't move that around. So the idea that that's being taken away excites me in the fact that we're actually making some progress towards the cloud becoming real and extending outside of private data centers. Lots of stuff. So there was a lot of stuff last year that we talked about. This year we delivered it. So cluster mode earlier this year, which is a pretty big deal. It's a big paradigm shift in the way storage is provisioned and managed throughout your data center. So instead of managing individual pieces of controllers, we're now abstracting above that, similar to what VMware did for servers, right? You take an abstracted entity and put it up on top of that and manage that individually, but the beauty of it is it never really goes down. It just moves within the cluster, right? The other big thing, there's two other flash add-ons that we've done. We all know SSDs are coming on really strong, and flash is becoming a little more non-cost prohibitive these days. So we've done flash pools, which some people have referred to as hybrid aggregates, but it's the same thing. We're putting SSD disks in front of regular disk pool aggregates so that you can accelerate the reads and writes down to that pool. And the other thing that we just announced last week was we call it Flash Excel. And it's similar to our flash cache product that's in the storage controllers today, but we're also moving that up stack to put it into the servers on commodity SSDs that you can just put as PCI-based SSDs that you can put in your servers, and extends the intelligence of data on tap all the way up stack into the servers. Favorite worst piece of technology ever made, I think, is going to be texting, because I am a very socially interactive person. Anytime you go out, you see people either outside of a bar or at a conference like this, they're all standing away, even in the elevator. Something as compact and small as the elevator, what's the first thing people do? They pull out their phones and they stare at them and play with them. You don't say hi, you don't greet people anymore, nobody talks. I think we're gonna look back, we're gonna open up the time capsule 100 years from now and go, texting. What were we thinking? Sure, so I blog at datacenterdude.com. My Twitter handle is that one guy Nick. Please come follow, please read the blog. It's mostly centered around NetApp, but I do branch off and talk about other things as well. I like to have some theory crafting type discussions in a lot of my posts. One of the recent ones was, where will the hypervisors be in 5 years from now? So it's not a NetApp blog, it's not funded by or anything like that by NetApp. They do syndicate it a little bit, but other than that, it is my own personal opinions, and I talk about anything from Hyper-V to VMware to Facebook to any kinds of technologies like that. So it's growing and growing. We're talking about adding a couple of extra writers, potentially into this year or the first of next year, so non-NetApp people. So trying to grow it and build it as more of a community type thing around technology and not just NetApp and VMware.